I'm meteorologist Doug Higgins. The Fox 11 Severe Weather Index low the next 24 hours. More sunshine in store for us tomorrow, but also cooler temperatures. I'll have all the details coming up.
First tonight on Fox 11 News at 9. New details on a suspicious fatal fire in Green Bay. A murder investigation is underway as officials say the fire was not the cause of a 30-year-old woman's death. Plus, an area church mourns the victim's death. She died in the house congregation members helped her to build. And 3 years after invading Iraq, the debate over when to bring U.S. troops home rages on.
Your station for balanced news and severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News at 9.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Mark Leland. Fire wasn't the only thing suspicious about the death of a Green Bay woman yesterday. Authorities in Green Bay now have a murder investigation on their hands. 30-year-old Michelle Schmidt was found dead inside her burning home yesterday, but the medical examiner says she did not die because of the fire. While Green Bay police aren't talking about the case, Fox 11's Robert Hornacek has new details into the investigation.
As the investigation into the death of Michelle Schmidt continues, several people who knew the mother of 3 boys under 6 stopped by what's left of her home.
I met Michelle once. She helped us stain doors and stain trim for her home.
Chelsea Brunning helped build Schmidt's home with Habitat for Humanity. You can't believe what happened.
She seemed like a really amazing woman with a really amazing tale. She had a rough life, and I'm hoping her kids don't have one quite as bad.
Green Bay police guarded this home on Harvey Street all day Sunday, but the department refused to release any information about the case, saying they would not answer any questions or provide any details until a press conference was held on Monday. Brown County Medical Examiner Al Klimek is talking about the case.
We are treating this as a homicide.
He says paramedics on the scene knew right away that Schmidt was not killed in the fire.
The injuries that were presented to them certainly jumped out at them as maybe we're not dealing with a fire-related death, that this perhaps was a fire that was deliberately set in order to cover up that of a homicide.
Klimek says Schmidt was found in the kitchen away from the heat and smoke, and her body had trauma to the chest and abdomen.
We feel as though that the trauma that she sustained certainly did cause the death.
Klimek says he was told Schmidt's children saw what happened to their mother, and he was made aware of the connection between the fire and a single-vehicle car accident on Highway 43 near the ramp to Highway 41. The accident happened shortly after the fire. The Sheriff's Department would not provide any information about the driver, a 39-year-old Appleton man who was critically injured in the accident, saying family members were being notified. Police sources tell Fox 11 that the driver is the suspect in Schmidt's death and is still in the hospital. Klimek wouldn't talk much about the connection because it's a police matter, but since police aren't talking, Klimek addressed this much.
The community is not at a risk for anybody running about out there, looking to hurt people.
While the home she helped build is gone, Chelsea Brunning says that's nothing compared to what 3 little boys now have to deal with.
They have the rest of their lives without a mom anymore.
In Green Bay, Robert Hornacek, Fox 11 News.
The medical examiner will conduct an autopsy on Schmidt's body tomorrow and should have more information on how she died when it's completed. Many people knew Michelle Schmidt because of her association with Habitat for Humanity. She was a single mother working to build not just a house but a home for her 3 boys. Now those who offered Schmidt support in the past are looking to lend a hand to her children. Fox 11's Monica Landeros continues our team coverage.
She really loved the boys. I mean, she was really looking forward to having her own home.
A suspicious Saturday morning fire left 30-year-old Michelle Schmidt of Green Bay dead, and her 3 small children without a mother.
Our people just loved her. I mean, our service was filled with tears.
Paul Garrison, senior pastor of Spring Lake Church in Bellevue, knew Michelle. Last year, members of his church, along with Habitat for Humanity, helped a single mom build this home on the 1300 block of Harvey Street, the house that was set on fire with Michelle in it.
It was really devastating that Michelle had passed away. The house was just a house, and that was insignificant.
Michelle was hand-picked for the house building project, and she even put 500 hours of work into building a home for her family.
We felt like she was a great prospect for a Habitat house because she was so hardworking. She worked 2 jobs trying to provide for the needs of her boys.
And it's the future of those boys that now worries those at Spring Lake Church.
The main thing now that we're trying to focus on is what can we do to help the boys deal with this tragedy and to deal with what they maybe have witnessed.
You know, I believe God put our church in that location to build that house, you know, so we could form that fellowship with her and the boys and that.
Senior Pastor Paul Garrison hopes to rebuild the house on Harvey Street. In the meantime, he says he's gotten many phone calls from parishioners hoping to help Michelle's children. They are staying with relatives for now, and the investigation into Michelle's death and the fire continues. Monica Landeros, Fox 11 News.
Green Bay police are expected to provide new details about the case tomorrow. The 3 young children now left without a mother are getting additional help from neighbors in that area. The Old North Neighborhood Association has set up a memorial fund for the Schmidt family, and members began by donating $500.
This is a time for the neighborhood to band together and show people that we are a good group of people, and we do work together, and not only preventing crime and working on some of the nuisance issues, and we do work together to help the good people.
The Schmidt Family Memorial Fund has been set up with Bay Lake Bank. You can find out more information about it on our website at WLUK.com. Rescue crews had to pull a trapped woman out of her car after an accident today. The crash happened on Highway 41 just south of Memorial Drive in Howard. The Brown County Sheriff's Department tells us witnesses say the car skidded out of control and into a ditch after hitting an informational sign on the highway. The Howard Fire Department and County Rescue had to free a 31-year-old woman from the car because she was trapped inside. She was taken to St. Vincent Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The condition of one of the students injured in a bus crash in Adams County is improving. A spokesman at Theta Clark Medical Center in Neenah says a 15-year-old girl's condition was upgraded from critical to fair today. One student died after a semi-truck rear-ended a bus carrying students from the Tri-County School District last week. Today, visitation was held for 14-year-old David Senf. His funeral will be tomorrow. It's been 3 years since the U.S. invasion in Iraq began, with billions of dollars being used to fund the war and the U.S. death toll over 2,000. Many are calling for an end to the fight. But the president insists Iraqis must take over before our troops can come home. Fox's Kelly Wright has both sides of this anniversary of the Iraq War.
3 years ago today, U.S.-led coalition forces began Operation Iraqi Freedom. President Bush, speaking with reporters on the White House lawn today, says there is encouraging news from Iraq, that Iraqi leaders are working hard to form a new democratic government. He adds he is also thinking about the sacrifices made by U.S. troops.
My reflections were upon the sacrifices of the men and women who wear our uniform. Ours is an amazing nation where thousands have volunteered to serve our country. They volunteered many volunteered after 9/11, knowing full well that their time in the military could put them in harm's way.
Some lawmakers say they too are thinking about the troops when calling for their withdrawal sooner rather than later.
The message should be clear to the governments in the region and to the American people that our forces are coming out and that it's the responsibility of the Iraqis to meet our schedule, not the United States to meet their schedule.
Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld says U.S. troops will come home when the Iraqis are able to stand, writing an op-ed in today's Washington Post that states, "Consider that if we retreat now, there is every reason to believe Saddamists and terrorists will fill the vacuum, and the free world might not have the will to face them again. Turning our backs on post-war Iraq today would be the modern equivalent of handing post-war Germany back to the Nazis." Vice President Dick Cheney, taking a swipe at the media, says there is a perception problem in Iraq, that Americans are not getting the full picture of the progress there because, he says, car bombs are just more newsworthy. In Washington, Kelly Wright, Fox News.
Many around the country and the world are voicing their opinions on the war and offer another view. Protesters gathered on Green Bay's east side today to oppose the war in Iraq and call for the U.S. government to bring the troops home. The demonstrators are also urging people to vote in an advisory referendum on April's ballot, asking citizens in a number of Wisconsin communities if they think U.S. troops should withdraw from Iraq.
Many of us were out here hoping to prevent a war before that, 4 years ago, and we're still opposed to the invasion and the occupation of Iraq, and we would like to see the troops home.
The demonstrators say they get both positive and negative feedback from passerbyers, but they just want their voices heard. Thousands of protesters gathered in New York City's Times Square near a military recruiting station. Police arrested more than a dozen of the demonstrators in the Big Apple. Protests were also held elsewhere around the country, including Chicago, Boston, and in Louisiana, where demonstrators say the Iraq war has hurt the United States' ability to help the Gulf Coast recover from last year's hurricane season. Well, up next here on Fox 11 News at 9, it was not a good day in Australia. We'll tell you about Cyclone Larry that hit Australia, bringing with it winds up to 180 miles an hour. Plus, Senator Herb Kohl pays tribute to outstanding teachers and students here in Northeast Wisconsin and rewards them for their efforts.
And we were rewarded with lots of sunshine today and high temperatures in the 40s across a lot of the region. Right now we're down the mid-30s, but that's all right. Winds are a little bit on the strong side, north at 16 miles per hour. But the good news, spring is beginning. Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow at 12:26 in the afternoon. More on your weather coming up.
Patrick Powell is passionate about severe weather coverage. It's what drives him. Fox 11 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Powell, passionate and driven, delivering severe weather coverage on Fox 11 News at 5 and 9.
Fox 11 News is brought to you in part by Prevea, like family.
Caring for our children. Is there anything more important? That's why Prevea offers exceptional specialized care for children not found anywhere else in Northeast Wisconsin. So we can care for the child in your life the way you do. Close to home. Close to your heart. Prevea. Like family.
The signs all point to one thing. It's Toyota's premier event. While you're there, check out the Toyota cars. With great deals going on now, you can get $500 customer cash on the sporty Corolla or the truly unique Matrix. While you're there, check out the all-new, bigger, more powerful RAV4 with an available 269 horsepower V6. Now's the time to get the best deals on the new Toyotas. Toyota's premier event is on. Don't miss it. Toyota, moving forward.
See the difference a YMCA membership can make. The YMCA, Green Bay, Door County, Manitowoc, Two Rivers, Oshkosh, Sheboygan, and the Fox Cities.
At Subway restaurants, each sandwich starts with our freshly baked breads, crisp vegetables and toppings, and the finest of ingredients. But the new fresh toasted bistro steak is more than a sandwich. Tender pieces of seasoned steak with grilled onions and peppers topped with our new smooth and savory garlic peppercorn sauce and hot bubbly cheese. The new fresh toasted bistro steak from Subway restaurants is as close to a steak dinner as you can get without a reservation. Try one today.
At Fox 11 News, balance means presenting all sides of an issue so you can make up your own mind. Fox 11, your station for balanced news coverage.
A tropical cyclone ripped roofs off buildings, uprooted trees, and destroyed homes as it tore across Australia's northeastern coast. Tropical cyclone Larry's winds reached 180 miles an hour as it made landfall, sending hundreds of tourists and residents fleeing for higher ground. The winds were so strong, police and rescue crews were not able to immediately respond to the calls for help or survey the damage. Tens of thousands are without power after what many call the worst cyclone there in decades.
From the Fox 11 Severe Weather Lab, your forecast first with meteorologist Doug Higgins.
And our tropical season, not that far away. Well, not here in Wisconsin, but at least in the United States. It starts in June. Now, look at our forecast first. Anything but stormy out there. We're going to be about 22 degrees at 7 o'clock with some sunshine. 33 degrees by noon, but our high temperature topped off at 35 degrees for a high. That's a little bit cooler than today. Severe weather index staying low for the next 24 hours. More sunshine in the forecast. And our weather story is talking about slightly cooler temperatures. Yeah, the sunshine's going to be out there, and that'll help make things feel warmer. But the big key to our cool down is the winds. We're going to see a high-pressure system here in Canada and a low-pressure system right at the bottom of your screen kind of interact. That'll bring our winds in a more northeasterly direction, and that will drive cooler air into the state of Wisconsin. And that's when we're not going to see high temperatures in the 40s probably for the next couple of days until that storm system moves on out. Tomorrow's high temperatures you can see in the Upper Peninsula, plenty of 20s in Houghton, and looks like about 34 degrees here in Green Bay for a high temperature. You'll have to go way down towards Moline for a look at some 40-degree highs. Our weather very tranquil thanks to that high pressure system. We've got clear skies outside. We're going to see a few more clouds tomorrow, but that high is going to protect us from a massive storm system. Right now, just gathering strength in the plains. We've got very heavy snow showers spreading across much of Iowa and, Nebraska at this point in time. Iowa is mainly seeing a mixture of rain, snow, and sleet, but this whole storm system is going to be a whopper of a snowmaker out there. There are 9 different states with winter storm warnings out. That's the area right here in dark blue, and you can see why when we have an estimate of future snowfall totals. How about 12 to 18 inches across central sections of Nebraska? And I have seen some indications that there could be isolated areas of 20 to 24 inches in that state. Heavy snow will continue across southern Iowa, northern Missouri, and down into Illinois with 5 to 7 inches of snow. Look at us. High and dry, that whole storm system missing us. Our forecast for tonight calling for clear skies, getting down to about 20 for a low. North winds will calm down a little bit, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, spring does officially start around lunchtime. Partly sunny skies and 35 degrees. Notice the winds, 10 to 20 miles an hour out of the northeast. The next 3 days have 30s in the forecast, especially as we work our way into Tuesday and Wednesday. 32 Tuesday and dry and partly sunny. Mostly sunny on Wednesday and 36. But then we'll warm on up a little bit. 40 for a high on Thursday. Chance for a few snow flurries. Nothing more than that, just flurries on Friday. And it looks like 40s return for Saturday and Sunday.
And the first week of spring looking pretty good there, especially toward the end of the week.
Yeah, and very dry. Don't expect much in the way of precip.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, Wisconsin Senator Herb Kohl was in Green Bay today honoring area teachers and students. Kohl's Educational Foundation awards $1,000 grants to 100 students, 100 teachers, and 100 schools in Wisconsin each year. This afternoon, the first of 5 banquets around the state was held in Green Bay to present local recipients with their awards. Kohl says the students receiving scholarships are chosen for their academic potential, leadership, and community service.
Makes a great difference to me. It makes me feel really good to know that they are achievers, that they're here today, that they're getting rewarded and then recognized for what they do, that they're going on to school. They're going to be good citizens, people that we can be proud of.
The Herb Kohl Educational Foundation was established back in 1990, and to date it has awarded nearly $6 million to Wisconsin teachers, students, and schools. Well, coming up next year on Fox 11 News at 9, controversy in the Moussaoui trial. Will things get back on track after problems during sentencing of the only person to be tried for crimes connected to 9/11? Plus, the threat of bird flu prompts thousands of birds to be slaughtered in one country while another victim is discovered in another country.
Fox 11 News is brought to you in part by Mako Floor Covering Centers.
People want to be part of a team. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Maybe that's why more Americans choose Chevy than any other brand.
During the Chevy NCAA March Madness event, get $500 or $1,000 additional bonus cash on select 05 and 06 vehicles in stock. America's brand salutes America's best athletes. See your Chevy Super Dealer.
I walked out of the basement to see my home totally gone. Nothing but a bunch of lumber and bricks.
When something like this happens, you wonder how you're ever going to get your life back.
American family really came through for us.
They far exceeded my expectations. You hope you never have a fire. You hope you never have a tornado wipe away your house. But this is what you buy insurance for, is the way we were treated.
American Family Insurance.
SBC is now the new AT&T, and there's no better time than right now to leave your old cable company and get into true high-speed internet from the new AT&T. Right now, you can get our lowest price ever, $12.99 a month for 12 months when you order online at att.com/12.99. And if you switch now from cable, you can get 3 months of free high-speed internet service just for making the switch. If you're paying more for the same old cable service, now is the time to switch to the new AT&T. Your world, delivered.
You can save up to 70% on your gas and electric bills.
This geothermal heat pump replaces your furnace, air conditioning, and supplements your hot water. And it saves you money.
Here's how it works. In winter, water circulating with a ground loop taps the Earth's warmth and transfers it to your home. In summer, the system pulls heat from your home and deposits it in the cooler Earth.
Call us at Vans Refrigeration, and we'll show you how this modern technology will save you money.
Call 869-2196 or visit vansrefrigeration.com.
At Ford, we believe that you should get more. More thrills with the Ford Focus. It's got driving fun written all over it. So hug those curves without a care in the world. Buy or lease the fuel-efficient Ford Focus, and for a limited time, we'll match your down payment up to $1,000. That means you can get up to $4,000 towards your down payment or choose 0% financing. Built for Packerland, built for the road ahead.
He's the only person to be tried for crimes connected to September 11th. This week, Zacharias Moussaoui's trial continues, but one woman almost had it thrown out completely. A lawyer not even involved directly in the case disobeyed a court order. Fox's Megan Kendall has more on that.
The Moussaoui trial is getting back on track, but not without lingering questions about how the case was almost thrown out entirely. The woman behind the controversy, attorney Carla Martin, who disobeyed a court order not to share trial transcripts with witnesses yet to testify. Martin is not a prosecutor on the case. Instead, she works for the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, acting as an intermediary between certain aviation witnesses and lawyers on the case. Once Martin's conduct was revealed, Judge Leonie Brinkema banned the testimony of the tainted witnesses. Its case near tatters, the government objected and persuaded the judge to allow some aviation experts, but not the ones it initially wanted, not the ones who had dealt with Martin. Some 9/11 family members say the judge overreacted.
I feel very badly for the prosecutors in this case because they are being branded as incompetent or unethical, and they've done nothing wrong. They had no control over this woman who was on the periphery of the case. She wasn't on part of the prosecution team.
Martin took the stand to explain herself last week, but was excused until she retained a lawyer. Her motive here remains unclear, although Moussaoui's attorneys have one theory. They claim she was trying to square these witnesses' testimony with evidence in another case, a civil suit brought against 2 airlines by the 9/11 family members. Prosecutors also want Martin to testify, but say there's no use questioning her unless she'll actually answer. They believe she may take the Fifth Amendment, given that she's facing possible criminal charges now. Martin's newly retained legal counsel says if and when she does talk, she will paint, quote, a very different picture. In Washington, Megan Kendall, Fox News.
Moussaoui is now in the sentencing phase of his trial. At stake is whether the accused terrorist will face the death penalty. In world news tonight, an Egyptian woman is added to the human death toll from the bird flu. The victim, a 30-year-old woman who had symptoms 12 days ago but did not inform authorities she was raising chickens in her house. Authorities recently said that the virus was being contained after its arrival in Egypt last month. The bird flu has killed at least 98 people worldwide since 2003. Fears of the avian flu in Israel have prompted health officials there to call for the slaughter of hundreds of thousands of birds. The Israeli government is anticipating the outbreak of the flu after thousands of turkeys died in central Israel and reports of the disease reached nearby countries. The World Health Organization says 2/3 of the bird flu victims have come from Vietnam and Indonesia. Employee unions in France are threatening to strike if the government doesn't scrap a controversial jobs plan. That plan had tens of thousands of people protesting in the streets of Paris this weekend, and sometimes those protests turned violent, with nearly 200 arrests. The jobs plan would allow businesses to fire young workers in the first 2 years on a job without giving a reason. Still to come here tonight on Fox 11 News at 9, losing a loved one to the Iraq War. Coming up, We talked to two families that each lost a soldier in Iraq, but share very different views on the third anniversary since the war began.
I'm Drew Smith in the Fox 11 Sports Center. Coming up tonight, we'll let you know if the St. Norbert hockey team was able to track down their first national championship. Plus, are your brackets busted? A couple of major upsets today on the hard court. We'll let you know who's headed to the Sweet 16. In Northeast Wisconsin welcomes home two state champions, including one that finished the season with a spotless record. We'll take a look back at Oshkosh West's perfect season coming up.
Fox 11 News is brought to you in part by Sure Dry Basement Systems.
Just a minute. There's got to be a better way.
Cracks in drywall, doors and windows that don't open and shut properly are signs of a sinking foundation. The experts at Sure Dry Basement Systems, using the grip-tight piering system, can lift and stabilize your home. All for a lot less money and inconvenience than you might expect. Call Sure Dry today for your free estimate.
Best for being better, Sure Dry.
There's a magic place. A place where the West lives. I have seen it. Its spirit lives here, and I hope it never goes away.
For a free vacation guide, visit WyomingTourism.org. Wyoming, forever West.
The signs all point to one thing. It's Toyota's premier event. While you're there, check out the Toyota cars with great deals going on now. And you can lease a new 06 Camry, the #1 selling car in America, for just $199 a month for 36 months. Or get $1,000 customer cash. Or slip behind the wheel of a luxurious new Avalon, which starts at around $27,000. Toyota's premier event is on. Don't miss it. Toyota, moving forward.
There is no business that has buying power that doesn't negotiate discounts. That's the whole point.
In business, Herb Kohl bought in bulk to drive down costs. So when Congress banned Medicare from negotiating lower-priced prescriptions, Kohl said no. Now he's fighting to repeal that backroom deal.
The pharmaceutical industry gives big amounts of money to politicians. So here they got their payoff. It is really rotten, and it stinks. And it's something that we must eradicate.
I'm Herb Kohl, and I approve this message.
Betty can melt away your entire day in just 3 minutes. Betty Crocker Warm Delights in delicious molten caramel cake and decadent hot fudge brownie. Betty Crocker Warm Delights in the baking aisle. For a taste of delight, you're just 3 minutes from heaven.
You're watching Fox 11 News at 9 with Mark Leland. Meteorologist Doug Higgins with your forecast first. And Drew Smith live in the Fox 11 Sports Center.
A lot has happened in Iraq since the now 3-year war began. On March 20th, 2003, the fight started with a missile strike dubbed the Shock and Awe Campaign. U.S. troops began fighting Saddam Hussein's army 4 days later. In April 2003, the capital city of Baghdad fell to U.S. troops, and Iraqis tore down a statue of Saddam. The Iraqi dictator was captured by the U.S. military in December of 2003 and is now being tried for war crimes. And since then, Iraq has taken steps toward reforming a new government, including holding free elections. But the White House has admitted intelligence failures as weapons of mass destruction were never discovered in Iraq. And as of today, more than 2,300 U.S. soldiers have died serving in Iraq, including more than 50 from Wisconsin. No one understands the price paid by U.S. troops in Iraq like the parents of those service members who've died serving their country. But while they share the same pain, they don't always share the same viewpoint about the war. Chris Huntington has a story of two very different parents and brings us both sides of the war tonight.
Lieutenant Seth Devoren was a platoon leader in the Army's 82nd Airborne Division. Lieutenant J.T. Robleski, a platoon leader for the 2nd Battalion of the 4th Marines. Two young men from the New Jersey suburbs who were killed in action in Iraq in 2004. Devoren's mother, Sue, and Robleski's father, John, carry similar burdens of a parent's tragic loss. Both are passionately outspoken about what their sons died for from completely different points of view.
What did my child, I have to use the word child, die for? If you can't think of something that your child died for or was killed for, then your child has died in vain.
My son, not only my son, but all of those heroes that fell, all of the wounded that are in hospitals and lost limbs and so forth and so on, they did not die in vain. They died honorably.
Robleski, a high school athletic director and father of 4, is proud his oldest son was a Marine and fervently believes the war in Iraq is necessary.
It's a war that if we're not in it and we're not on the offensive, all right, we will be fighting it here on these shores. I think 9/11 proved that.
Sue Niederer, a real estate broker, has actively protested that premise since her son was killed while leading a search for improvised explosive devices, a mission she believes he was under-trained and under-equipped to do.
How the heck did a piece of shrapnel get up and under my son's helmet and blow the back of his head off? Somebody explain that one to me.
Niederer says her son told her he'd lost confidence in the U.S. mission in Iraq, but was committed to leading his soldiers. Now she says he is leading her.
I will continue speaking, marching, being arrested until my son tells me to stop. I'm not stopping.
John Robleski does not consider himself a pro-war activist, but last fall he spoke at a rally to honor military families.
And thank you to our Commander-in-Chief.
And last summer, Robleski traveled to Crawford, Texas to confront Cindy Sheehan, who'd also lost her son in Iraq and was protesting the war outside President Bush's ranch.
And I understand Cindy Sheehan, I feel her loss, but I think that, you know, there's a line that's drawn. You know, and she, at one point in time, I think she crossed that line.
Lieutenant J.T. Robleski died in a firefight outside Ramadi, but his father visits with him many mornings at a small memorial where a poem is etched into a stone. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I'd walk right to heaven and bring you home again. Sue Niederer says that's one thing that she and John Robleski completely agree upon. Chris Huntington, CNN, New York.
In news from Iraq on its 3rd anniversary of the invasion, Operation Swarmer continues in Samarra. The Iraqi and U.S. military offensive is now in its 4th day. So far, the military has detained more than 80 suspected insurgents as well as 15 weapon caches. But Iraqi police say 8 civilians were killed in clashes with U.S. troops and gunmen. Close to 1 million Shi'ite pilgrims are gathering in Karbala, Iraq, and security is extra tight. The pilgrims are marking the 40th and final day of a traditional period of mourning for the Prophet Muhammad's grandson. In past years, militants have launched a series of deadly attacks on Shi'ite pilgrims. There's currently a ban on all vehicles in Karbala. Still to come here tonight on Fox 11 News at 9. The rain is messing with Texas. The Lone Star State is all wet and dealing with flooding problems. We'll tell you more about the rain and the wet conditions there coming up. And taking a live look tonight from our Lambeau cam, the skies are clear following a beautiful weekend as we head into the first full week of spring coming up. Doug will be back with your complete Fox 11 forecast.
Start your day with Pete and Rachel on Fox 11's Good Day Wisconsin. Pete Petoniak's forecast first. Plan your workday around the day's weather and get the 7-day forecast. Rachel Monick with the latest overnight breaking news and headlines of what's to come throughout the day. Plus, what's up in the kitchen? We're cooking with Amy. Good Day Wisconsin, weekday mornings from 5 until 9.
The throw-in. The power forward. Going coast to coast. It's the GMC NCAA March Madness event. At $26,870 after all offers, the 06 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab SL 4-wheel drive is ready to take on the competition. Or during March Madness, get extra bonus cash on select 05 and 06 vehicles in inventory. See the pros at your local GMC dealers.
When you're part of the same community, share someone's values, understand their dreams, you want to do all you can to help them reach their financial goals, to help them protect what they value most and give back to their congregation and community. We're Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, a Fortune 500 financial services organization, and a part of your community. We're Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, one values-based organization, nearly 3 million members strong.
Schmidt Brothers Custom Homes, the difference is in the details.
The details are what make a house a home. And at Schmidt Brothers Custom Homes, we pride ourselves on your happiness. We use the #1 recognized name in windows, Anderson Windows. Plus, not 1 but 2 awards for excellence in buildings speak for themselves. Discover the details most important to you and create a home all your own, from the inside out.
Schmidt Brothers Custom Homes, the quality is it, shouldn't it be Schmidt?
At Ford, we believe that you should get more power with the Ford F-150. It's the undisputed leader with one tough backbone. Right now, we're giving you more for less. That means you can lease F-150, the best-selling vehicle on the planet, for just $292 a month with 0 down and 0 security deposit. Plus, current Ford owners get an additional $1,000 in owner loyalty. Built for Packerland, built for the road ahead.
When severe weather threatens, rely on Good Day Wisconsin to deliver the warnings you need. It's our promise.
Fox 11, your station for severe weather coverage.
Well, heavy rain is causing some flooding in the Lone Star State. Officials say Dallas, Texas will be at risk from flash flooding through this evening. Police have evacuated towns and low water crossings and are urging people to stay in their homes until this storm passes through. Dallas police have already received more than 100 calls from residents. Forecasters say the heaviest rain will fall over northeast Texas and southeast Oklahoma.
From the Fox 11 Severe Weather Lab, your forecast first with meteorologist Doug Higgins.
And all that rain down in Texas is going to translate into a lot of snow for some folks. I'll have more on that. But first, our local weather, anything but snowy. We're going to have sunshine tomorrow, 22 degrees at 7 a.m., 33 by noon, and about 35 degrees for our high temperature. Severe weather index, that kind of a weather pattern, obviously staying low for the next 24 hours. But we are going to see slightly cooler temperatures tomorrow than today. We hit 47 degrees in Green Bay for our high temperature, and it was, oh, so nice out there. But our winds are going to change directions a little bit. They're going to be coming out of the northeast and blowing out of Canada, where there is some slightly cooler air. You can see 14 degrees right here as you make your way into the Upper Peninsula, about 29 degrees, and then down towards Green Bay, we're at 34 right now. I'll look at closer temperatures at home, 25 right now in Anago, 30 in Green Bay, Sturgeon Bay, I should say, and Marinette, 34 in Appleton. Oshkosh coming in at 35 degrees. A look at futurecast shows the only thing we're going to have to deal with in the southern viewing area is a little bit in the way of cloud cover tomorrow. Not a lot, just a little bit. Some high clouds will be spreading north into Green Bay, but that will be about all. Same for Tuesday. More clouds in the southern half of the state, more sunshine in the northern half of the state. Ugh, kind of a boring weather pattern out there, but where it isn't boring is to our southwest. Look at this. Extremely heavy snow setting up in the Central Plains states, yet we're not going to see a thing. The reason for that is this high pressure system is going to continue to bring dry air into Wisconsin, and that storm is going to skirt just to our south, creating some impressive snowfall totals. Nebraska, Iowa, over towards Illinois. If you are traveling anywhere where there is a filled-in square right here, these are all winter storm warnings and watches. The warnings right here in the brighter blue in over 9 states right now for extremely heavy snow. Here's how Futurecast shapes up this snowstorm, and it's going to be a whopper between 12 and 18 inches of snow in Nebraska. Some areas could see 20. And then as you make your way into northern sections of Missouri and central Illinois, about 5 to 7 inches of snow, and that will stretch into Indiana as well. So if you're traveling in this direction, either tomorrow or even Tuesday morning, beware. It looks like traveling there could be rough. Traveling in the state of Wisconsin, no problems out there. Clear skies, 20 degrees. North winds around 5 to 10 tonight. Partly sunny, and yes, spring does start tomorrow at 12:26 in the afternoon. 35 degrees will be our high temperature. Winds will be breezy out of the northeast at around 10 to 20 miles per hour. 3-day forecast is calling for more in the way of sunshine, although cooler temperatures. We're going to step down to a high of 32 on Tuesday, back up to 36 on Wednesday, and then 40s return for Thursday, partly sunny skies. Friday, we could see a chance for a flurry or two, but nothing more than that, and the dry weather will continue for next weekend, and it looks like more 40s in the forecast, too. 40 Saturday and 42 on Sunday.
Seeing all that snow kind of over in Nebraska, I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, actually I am too, and I have little flowers actually coming up right now.
I think we do too, yeah.
It's incredible.
It's the start of it all.
That it is.
It's the start of sports right now too with Drew Smith.
Now, the latest from the Fox 11 Sports Center.
The last time the St. Norbert hockey team made it to the national championship game 2 years ago, Middlebury College was in their way. On that day, it was a goal in overtime that foiled the Green Knights. This year, the Knights again, they had those same sweaters staring back at them in the championship game. Middlebury won last year also, trying for a three-peat. Championship on the line, upstate New York. St. Norbert had to play catch-up early, first period. Middlebury's Robert McIntyre jams it in. Score was 1-0 Panthers. Second period, John, don't call me Soupy Sales, makes the transaction. 2-0 Middlebury. And they had some great play between the pipes. Doug Rader stopped every shot he faced. The Panthers win their third straight national title with a 3-0 win over St. Norbert. Well, as the governor once said, they'll be back. Last month, Wisconsin hockey played at Lambeau Field. Saturday afternoon at 1:30, the Badgers will be back in Green Bay to play in the Division I tournament at the Rec Center. The Badgers will be the #1 seed in the Midwest Regional. They'll take on Bemidji State.
The guys seeing the response we had at Lambeau Field and those Green Bay people, I tell these guys, I played there for a year. Those people are nuts. They're nuts for their sports, and they love it there, and they're going to support us, and it's going to be that place is going to be packed red and white. I'm sure of it, and they're going to be loud, and they're going to be screaming, and it's going to be a little bit of a Wisconsin feel. It's going to be a mini Kohl Center feeling that we're going to have, and it's going to be exciting being in Green Bay, a place that we wanted to be at the start of the year. One of our goals was to be there, and we've accomplished that.
They're hoping not only they'll be there for one game, but perhaps two. As you see, it starts on the 25th. That's Wisconsin-Bemidji State, and they'll hopefully play the winner of the Cornell-Colorado College to decide the Midwest Regional champ. That regional final is on the 26th at 4 o'clock. That's next Sunday. Well, how are your brackets? Unless you had all #1 seeds maybe in your Final Four, which doesn't really happen. Could be in a little bit of a shambles. Some of the hot sleepers already sleep with the fishes. After bouncing Michigan State, George Mason taking on #3 seed in North Carolina. Check out Florian Campbell's tomahawk stuff in the second half. Put the Patriots up 3, then smell an upset. George Mason's Lamar Butler with a nice drive and a bucket sinks the Tar Heels. George Mason, the 11th seed, advancing with a 65-60 win. Not often the matchup is also a famous actor. How about Bradley Pitt? Brad for short. Not at the game today. He missed a good one. Pitt up 1. Patrick O'Brien strong to the glass. The Braves a 1-point lead later in transition. Throw it down, Patrick O'Brien. Did anybody have Bradley in the Sweet 16? If you did, congratulations to you, because they get there. They do their dancing with a 72-66 upset over Pitt.
I'm awfully privileged to coach these guys. They've been working their tails off. They've dropped a lot of sweat and a lot of hours, and they deserve this moment. They've worked awfully hard. I'm proud to coach them.
Big Ten so far, not good. Ohio State, the final Big Ten team, playing Georgetown today. Buckeyes trying to stay alive in the second half. Terrence Dials, a bucket and a foul. Brought them within 6. Georgetown, too strong down the stretch. Jeff Green hits the 3. Big Ten, all done on weekend 1 of the Big Dance. Georgetown wins 70-52. Your other scores are on the ticket. While there have been a few dunks in women's players in college play, never in the NCAA tournament until now. Tennessee's Candace Parker, a redshirt freshman, and her team played Army today. And on the breakaway, some women's basketball history. Parker with a breakaway dunk. 1 or 2 on the game. Take another look. It's not going to win a lot of dunk contests, maybe. But the hand hit the rim, the ball went in. They're going to count it. That's a dunk. 1 of 2 she had on the night, as a matter of fact. Still to come tonight. One of the 4 boys basketball titles in high school. The top 2 were from our area. Seymour and Oshkosh West, who did the trick undefeated. They took home the Golden Hardware. Celebrated today. We'll celebrate with them. Coming up on Fox 11. News at 9.
SBC is now the new AT&T. Introducing the new AT&T, powered by SBC. Your world, delivered.
Green Bay's Hot Rod and Custom Car Show tradition returns. The 26th Annual American Car Care Center's World of Wheels. Presented by B.F. Goodrich. Friday through Sunday, March 24th through 26th at the Brown County Arena and Shopco Hall. SEMA Super Subside from Sport Truck Magazine. And meet NASCAR Truck Champion Ted Musgrave.
World of Wheels.
See high-flying BMX stunts. And meet Packers standout running back Sam Congado. And former WWE diva Christy Hemme. World of Wheels. March 24th through 26th. Discount tickets at American Car Care Centers.
Part of the GM Performance Parts Show Car Series.
Do you have questions about your current or approaching retirement?
At Wisconsin Financial and Tax Advisory Group, we specialize in retirement planning.
As retirement planning specialists, we're able to help you with your taxes, finances, and legal issues.
Do you pay more in taxes than you should? Do you have the best possible investments?
Do you have an appropriate estate plan? Do you have the legal documents you need?
Call today for a free consultation or to sign up for our next seminar.
At the Wisconsin Financial and Tax Advisory Group, your secure retirement is our business.
Right now at Van Boxtel, these special buys. 21 2004 and newer Ford Taurus SEs and Chev Malibus as low as $99.95 or just $173 a month. 2005 Chev Impala LS Sports from $13,995 to $43 a month. 2003 and newer Explorer 4x4s, also $13,995 to $43 a month. And Van Boxtel will give you as much as $7,000 for whatever you're driving now in trade on any vehicle with a green tag. Van Boxtel, Green Bay.
I paid over $300 for 2 pair of glasses during a buy one, get one sale. There's got to be a better way to buy glasses.
I'm Art Express, a better way to buy eyewear. You'll find everyday low prices with 2 pairs of glasses, $67.92. 2 pairs designer styles, only $98.61.
I got a great designer frame, and I saved over $200. That is better.
I'm Art Express in Green Bay on South Oneida next to Olive Garden, and in Appleton, grand opening of our new location in the parking lot of WG&R Furniture, just a 40-yard dash from our old store.
SBC is now the new AT&T. Introducing the new AT&T, powered by SBC. Your world, delivered.
Welcome back. Hey, it's party time in Oshkosh today. The Oshkosh West boys basketball team capped off an undefeated season. First ever state championship last night. Zach Wells takes a look back at the Wildcats' title campaign.
Undefeated! With the highly coveted gold ball as proof of a successful title chase, Oshkosh West showed the Badger State that the Wildcats are indeed number one.
Our dreams were probably awfully deep-rooted, and this is a pretty special one for all of us.
Also deep-rooted is a fanatical Oshkosh West following, an O-zone, if you will, filled with drums, face paint, and full-body cheers.
Yeah, I think it pumps us up, helps us get into the game more fired up, and we like it when they cheer for us, obviously, and it helps us a lot.
We knew what we wanted at the beginning of the year, and this is the best way I could ask to go out. And I mean, all the other guys that are seniors, I think I'm speaking for them. There's no one else they'd rather play with on the team than the guys that we had.
Senior Andy Polka led the way all season and landed co-MVP honors for his dominant tournament performance. And when covered, Polka shared the scoring load with Tim Jarmuth, also on the all-tournament team.
I just think ever since we were little kids, this is what we wanted, and we have excellent opportunities at Oshkosh West through young age with all the camps and all the opportunities we have to make us better.
Andy Polka has committed to play basketball next season at Loyola of Chicago, but his teammate Tim Jarmuth will be back at Oshkosh West for his senior season. But Jarmuth has already drawn interest from several D1 schools, including Wisconsin Green Bay. Reporting from the State Boys Basketball Tournament in Madison, Zach Wells, Fox 11 Sports.
Thanks, Zach. Also party time in Seymour today. Thunder Division II champs. Way to go. Held a celebration rally in the gym this afternoon to honor the team, which has been so close so often. Seymour won the gold ball after bringing home 4 straight silver runner-up trophies since their last title. Today, a bittersweet celebration for head coach John Murphy.
To look at these kids and say, hey, this is it, this is goodbye. It's an emotional thing, but there's no better way to go out than to go out state champion.
No, way to go. Well, it's looking like Ben Sheets won't be able to make that opening day start for the Milwaukee Brewers. Last week, the Brewers ace strained a muscle in his upper back. If Sheets can't go, Doug Davis will most likely get the nod. Brewers played the White Sox this afternoon. We get a good look at the Brewers' future today. That's Prince Fielder. He'll be starting first baseman this year. He singles to right. That scored a pair. Tony Gwynn Jr., Anthony to his buddies. That little pop in his bat as well. This one, though, a double to right. Brewers end up winning the game 8-7, and Prince Fielder says, hey, we're changing the image.
I think you just change the image by going out there and just playing hard. I mean, you can't really do it by talking. You just got to go out there and, show them on the field that, we worked real hard, and hopefully we'll be able to win more games.
It's a couple weeks from opening day. Hey, have you seen the new Golden Corral that opened up this week in Green Bay? Packed every night. Parking lot's full. As for the Golden Corral in Atlanta, not so much, thanks to the rain. They were all in the parking lot, not on the track. NASCAR Buffet will have to wait another day. The Golden Corral 500 has been rescheduled for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on the FX channel. That may be wishful thinking, though. Atlanta area forecast calls for more rain tomorrow. We're getting ready for the Masters. Masters is only 2 weeks away, but before we get there, still a couple of other tournaments to play, and not a lot of big names on the top of the leaderboard at Bay Hill. Jose Maria Olazabal, who's always done very well at the Masters. It's like he got going pretty well. This is on 16, and that's his second shot, and that, my friends, is what we call an eagle to Cadon. Greg Owen trying to force a playoff hole with Rod Pampling. This is the par putt on 18, and zing! Oh, no. Does not get it. You can't believe it, and Pampling taps in, and he is the winner. Who? Rod Pampling. Yeah, he gets the win. 14 under par, Greg Owen, Darren Clark, Robert Allenby, Lee Westwood, and Ted Purdy. If you know golf, you know those names, but maybe not if you're not just a casual follower. Tiger Woods finished 4 under par. He was tied for 20th, 2 weeks away from the Masters. Best time of the year. Love that weekend there. You got the National Championship, the Masters. Not too bad.
Well, a big golfer like yourself, and you got to love that.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Drew. When we come back, a couple of women had starring roles in new movies at the weekend box office. One with a vendetta, the other dressing up like a guy, but would that be enough to take over the top spot at the box office? We'll find out what's hot in theaters up next.
Fox 11 News is brought to you in part by Resource One Realty.
Introducing the new 2006 Cadillac DTS. Cadillac, breakthrough. Visit your local Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
When he ran the Kohl's stores, everybody knew Herb. Every checker, every stocker can tell you their own personal story about their relationship with Herb Kohl. And I think as a senator, he hasn't strayed far from that.
He doesn't look for the limelight, so people don't always know that he's behind the scenes helping in ways that touch their lives.
Herb Kohl, investing in kids with after-school programs and college scholarships, expanding access to health care for small businesses and farmers, battling the drug companies to lower prescription costs for seniors, targeting illegal drugs and gun violence to save young lives.
Senator Kohl's commitment to children is very genuine.
He knows how people live. He knows their needs.
Instead of just standing back there and jaw-jacking, he comes through for us.
It's about what can he do to leave something behind that makes this a better place for everyone who lives in this state.
My special interests are the people of Wisconsin. That's my special interest.
I'm Herb Kohl, and I approve this message.
Furnitureland's employee discount sale is back. Everything in store, including brands like Brookline and Lazy Boy, is employee price. Furnitureland in Pulaski. Real value, real close.
I mean, the reason Josephine...
You don't have enough minutes. Don't answer this. You don't have enough minutes.
What
don't answer
is that?
Oh, that's just my new ringtone. It's a reminder.
No minutes. Don't answer. No minutes. Don't answer.
Need more minutes? Right now, get free Call Me minutes on select plans. That's no charge for any call received in your local calling area. U.S. Cellular. We connect with you.
There's pandemonium in the street. Excuse me, ma'am. What's happened?
Oh, it's smashing everything in its path. I've never seen anything so huge.
You'll go ape over the savings during Car Wars. Acres and acres of new and used cars and trucks to choose from. All with king-size Car Wars savings. Act now. There's no time to monkey around. Get to Car Wars today at Dorsch Ford Kia in Green Bay.
Men's clothing provided by the Haberdasher Limited, 500 South Washington, Green Bay.
V for Vendetta spelled out success at the box office this weekend. The action thriller made more than $26 million in its debut. The film stars Natalie Portman there, who actually shaved her head for the role in the movie. The movie is adapted by the creators of the Matrix trilogy and is based on a graphic novel about a freedom fighter in a futuristic Great Britain. Last week's #1, the romantic comedy Failure to Launch, fell to second place this weekend. Disney's remake of The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen took the #3 spot. She's the Man and The Hills Have Eyes round out the top 5 this week. Let's get a check of the weather from Doug. A beautiful weekend. How's the week going to look starting tomorrow?
Looks like more in the way of sunshine, and tomorrow, the important part about tomorrow is spring, and it finally starts at 12:26 in the afternoons. That's some good news. Now, the slightly bad news that I have, it will be breezy and a little bit cooler tomorrow, 35 degrees for a high temperature. But the good news on top of that, a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. Tuesday, also a breezy, almost windy day, 32 degrees for a high. But after that, we're going to be back in the 40s by the end of the work week.
All right, looking pretty good. Well, finally tonight, look at how St. Patrick's Day is celebrated overseas. Not in Ireland, but in Japan. The Irish spirit made it all the way to the Far East as thousands gathered in Tokyo today to celebrate. A parade full of bagpipes, Irish dancing, and shamrocks was held in the city. A huge crowd of people dressed in green for the festivities there. Even some dogs got into the fun. It's the largest St. Patrick's Day parade in all of Asia. Of course, St. Patrick's Day was on Friday. They're getting into it in the streets there. How about that?
How many parades for St. Patrick's Day in Asia do you think there are?
That's a great question.
Not a lot of Irish.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't take a big parade
to be
the
biggest
one in there.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good night and make it a great week.
Fox 11 News, your station for balanced news and severe weather coverage.
Thanks for watching Fox 11 News. Do you feel our coverage was balanced today? Let me know how we did. Email me at balancednews@WLUK.com and I promise a response.